can already eat pretty fancy, you know? Because my dad spoils them all the time.
Exactly.
Crazy, thank you for 9 months of, thank you so much. Thank you for 9 months of, thank you so much. Thank you for 9 months of, thank you so much. Thank you for 9 months of, thank you so much. Thank you for 9 months of.
Regn og ström når ei er vaser.
Hello everyone, I see most people liking that music. Welcome to the next WSBL in the morning. I already see a few of you in the chat. Al, Musha, Bless. Oh, it's good to see liking music choices. Those are both actually songs from League of Legends. Like character songs. So yeah, honestly they are better at making music than they are at making games. And I put those all out for content, so it's like a giant list of songs. That's ruined it, yeah. That's what most people would say when they see it. But as you can see, got some primetime games again. We're going to be having Edinburgh going against South Beach as our first game, which will be pretty early on. And then we're going to have Singapore against New Jersey. And let me see, our AC got predictions. Good news is I did too. Let's see if we can't quickly do it together and break the rules. Week 4 prediction. 15 minutes before the stream starts. Shh, they won't know. No one tell them. It's worth a shot, ain't it? I ain't capping, I'm doing it right now. Exactly. I'll just wait 15 minutes for this stream. Anyway, we should move on to some basketball action. Get into the actual sim now. We're seeing going from March 5. So we are going from March 5 to March 17th, 12 days. Like I said, 2 games on the 8th and the 15th. So let's have a look at our first day games. August Venom is game of the day. 2 top teams going at it. No further, we sim a day, let's see. Make a green for everyone. That. Oh, don't tell me, dude man. Dude man. I know, I bet you I know exactly what you did. Yup. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be taking a slight little break. Someone give me a plaque name. Yes, bless. For anyone that doesn't understand, the sim requires you to have 12 players. New York, with A-Dub going to Frankfurt in the trade. They were going to needed an extra bot. Planner. Player creator. Who is it? New York. Thunder Titan or Bailey? Is Bailey around? Was Bailey around in the main thing? At Bailey. Hi. Is Bailey's here or not? It's gonna be a great question. I'm gonna say Room Protector Center because that's what they actually had. Go 7-2. 300 pounds. And his base mins. Make this. What do we make it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We make this 94? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, this is 95. Post 70. Oops. 70, 28, 1, 1. No message from Bailey, so we shall leave it there. Dunk frequency for a center is 25. And then we take these, minus that. 30, 30. Mid-range is 20. Corner and three-pointers are 5. Free throw is 40. That's 20. That's 30. 20. Rebounding is both 70. Blocking is also 70. Still is 60. Defender is 70. IQ is 50. I have no way of doing discipline, so wish them luck. I have no idea, CK. So, they're gonna find out together.
So it'll appear that Bailey's first act as GM is getting fined.
Yes, this is now twice I have done this on stream.
Well, he seems to hit you.
But it's funny, because I don't know if the other streamers would know what to do. Because I only know what I'm doing is because Dude Man taught me so I could help him do off-season work.
Well, they're all good, and Katasa's there too.
Oh yeah, Katasa might know. Plat, I'm not sure. But like, it's just dumb luck that I know what the hell I'm doing.
Well, hopefully... Hopefully needing to do this will reverse the normal bad luck that you give my team.
Then I need to go to... there it is. And we go to the offending team, which is New York. We then want to search up NTG. And we'll sign him. How much is he going to cost us? 1.2 mil? For like
really
30 games? Nah, I don't want him. There you go. I don't know if Bailey was not around, so too bad, too sad. Did I sign him to the right? No, I did not. I fucked it up, didn't I?
Where did you sign him to?
I think Carolina. Hey, Carolina, you got a new teammate. Don't know if you're
fun for everyone.
Don't know if you really want him though. How do I then remove him?
Oh god, if you're gonna have to do this again, this stream might never happen.
Nah. Got this. Think. Carolina. NTG the worst. Can't change his team in here, can I? No. Shit.
Oh, how's it going then? Trying to...
New plan.
New plan?
Reuse.
Not giving
reuse
Carolina the perennial player of the game?
Where was the release option, CK? I couldn't see it. Yeah, let's blank him again. The worst, but it is a 7 to 300 pound center with 95, 6, 7, 8, 9. Boom. 17 because that's max. 28, 1, 1. 25. I believe this is 30, 30, 20. 5, 5. I can't remember from there. 40, 20, 30, 20. 70, 70. 70, 60, 70, 50. 30, 30, 25, 5, 40, 20, 30, 20, 70, 70, 70, 60, 70, 7, 50. Save edits. Then we go here. Sign free agent. We select New York. You then look up NTG and sign selected player.
How much did he cost? Somebody in chat screenshot that and let me know.
Uber, don't you even start me on that. just no. roster.
Oh no, Uber's in this call.
No, he's in chat saying that I've become a league mum.
Ugh,
They picked up the
I
centre on
just
waivers.
I just read that yesterday. Absolutely horrifying.
Wait, did they all pick? Oh, they're probably because the file was already done. Ugh. Okay, so that should be fixed. Let's make sure Carolina don't have them as well. Good. Okay. Welcome everybody to the stream. I'm joined by Blas.
Hi there. I'm just here because every Saturday stream ends up being really bad for my team, and I want to pull away from that.
Bad from your team. Have you seen mine? I think we're probably
I
ready
have
for the
now.
playoffs. Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, less said the better. Game of the week: Orcas, Venom, and Sim.
Let's go green.
Yes, it worked. South Beach, Frankfurt, the win. Willie Miller triple. The streak continues. Someone's gonna make a render of
love that. Love to see that.
We need someone to make a render of NTG the worst for Carolina though.
I feel like Uber's in the chat.
Uber, you can do that, right?
Yeah. Go on, Uber. Go on.
But yes, so the first things first is it took 3 games for my record to continue. I have now gotten 4 from 4 triple doubles. Uber, we want a render of NTG the worst in Carolina colours. But yes, Willie Miller getting, that's the 4th person to get a triple double. It is the 6th in the league, I believe. You get to that shortly.
16 assists in that game, damn.
Good. South Beach taking out here, Carlton Cashmere player of the game. Pretty nice effective shooting from him to score his 33 points, 26 points assisted by JQ, 11 of 16, even more efficient.
And let's see. Surprisingly quiet game for Miami Vice on rebounds. Normally I expect them to get like 17 to 20.
It seems generally not many rebounds coming for both teams. 47 to 33, a bit low. Some players average like half of that themselves. New York, top scorer, Rockman, about 50% shooting for his 27 points, not too bad. Venture and San Nazero, pretty low effective shooting.
How much do you think they're missing Baz in this game?
Yes.
Like,
yes.
How many rebounds did New York manage?
23. 33.
Yeah, 33 to 47.
And I think what does Baz average? Ada probably knows. It's probably about 13 or 14.
Yeah, those second chance points really would have helped out.
It's a good, solid win for South Beach. We don't have to spend longer on this game. George Gordon, the former Passion, beating his own team into submission.
That's the worst part about these expansion teams. It's always your own players who do well against you.
Yep. And we get to see Baz's first game out as well. 14 points, 7 assists, 8 boards for George Gordon. Let's see, what does Baz do? 9 boards, 2 steals, 3 blocks, 3 turnovers. Not bad, not bad. Team's top scorer, Verdun Tor with 18, with 3 people off the bench providing double-digit scores. Almost 50% 3-point shooting, that's, and 92% at the free throw line. Puerto Rico, honestly, not that bad shooting. Not pretty decent shooting game, 40%. Only slightly below Frankfurt.
Yeah, it seems like a good team game, just not enough volume.
Yeah. What do we see? Hasbeen gets a double-double. Bogut goes 1 short. I still can't shoot. What else is new?
You still go and stretch 5?
At the moment, yes. I think off-season I've got to pick like... I'm picking Baz, I'm picking like Thunderbunk, and I'm just running tests to see which one's better. I'm copying them. Some of the first original testing I did some testing like copying I think Thunderbunk and von Salinar, but it actually made me worse. I would get less
Well,
boards and points than I was now. But that could also be like game plan wise. So I think
well, you
once
heard it here first, kids.
Saucy.
Stretch 5, not even once.
Uh,
But now we got Singapore who beat Ontario.
which is going to give us the triple double for Willie Miller. That is Sebster, right?
Yeah, shame he couldn't be on stream for it, but I'm sure he'll be super happy with that.
Mm-hmm. Which is another guard getting 11 points, 16 assists, and 10 boards. Which I believe is not even. I believe he holds the single game assist record at 20. From actually
Seb's
last
players,
week's stream.
God, just this is why. This is like the kind of Singapore that I'm afraid to face. Like if Miller gets games where he's scoring as well as like his assisting output, it's lights out.
Then you have like Money, I think, is averaging a double double, 15 boards, 13 points. Thunderbunk's double double and was almost MVP last season. And
Very
then
happy
Banks
to
off
be in the
bench,
West with
double-double.
teams like Singapore and Madrid. Oh, congrats, Musha, on your double double.
Yeah, it's really great being in the world tier with Singapore and Madrid. Not fun. Ontario side, yes, Musha, you got a double double there, 18 boards in total, pretty nice. 2 steals, 2 blocks, 3 assists as well. High score is Elliot Richards, 50% shooting, not bad for a rookie. He's having a pretty nice season. I haven't paid too much attention for say like I think there's meant to be a rookie of the year this season.
There is.
Yes. Okay. I wasn't sure if it was coming in next season or this season. There'll be a few people. Bench though nowhere near the sort of impact that you saw from like Banks and Turkey.
Yeah, I mean look at their starters. You got 3 starters playing 38 minutes.
And the others playing 28.
But Ontario's a team that's going to grow a lot in the draft next season.
Yep. Move on to Panama defeating Detroit. Double coming the way of Adam Malott. Player of the game, 17 points, 16 boards. What else do we see? Some 4 to 5 starters getting double-digit points. Double doubles also coming for Basketball the third, 17 boards and 12 points. Malott's 4 blocks, pretty huge as well.
Wow, look at those Detroit starters and that point output. You've got 2 players in the entire team who've got double-digit points.
I mean, look at the starters plus minus. The smallest is minus 14.
Oof. That's never fun, but at least we got 82 games this season.
Hey, Brent Ash in only 6 minutes got 12 points to be the team high. I think he's in time for some extra game time, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely, especially against the Seattle Walkers. Please play Ashmore.
I feel like his name I've seen a few times actually pop up with some pretty good games, despite the limited minutes. Mud City, to no surprise, beating Philadelphia. Only end up as a 7-point win, even though there was as much as 23 ahead.
And it's all in the second chance points.
Yep. Baby Yoda, not player of the game, it's partner in crime, Samir Woods, with 24 points off 7 of 17 shooting. Yoda goes 6 for 20, so about 28% shooting for a double-double with 16 points. With a minus 7, don't mind you. Because that is Baby Yoda.
0 for 5 on freeze is very nice. But let's see, how did Buffalo do at the line? 8 out of 9.
He missed one, shame on him.
Honestly, it's disgraceful.
Not
even a power forward.
Bouchier and Boucher both getting 11 points helping, but their bench is looking damn dry.
Thank you for that, Uber. That's incredible.
What did Uber do?
Look at GM chat. You'll see your NTG the worst.
Stream gets to see it too.
Yeah, of course. Stream needs to see something that great.
And Sebster, you are welcome. I am the triple double god. Because you've been around, you've seen what's happening with triple doubles, yeah? I've gotten one on every single stream.
You have. I actually haven't followed that. I'm entirely here for Seattle box scores, and I don't look at any of the stats.
Well, here you are. You get Konstantin Selic with a 30-point banger player of the game.
You know, when the frees work, they really work.
8 of 13. Shot everywhere. Jesus.
Every win against Vancouver is important. I know Muford's going to be in my DMs, and I need these wins so I can keep level ground with him.
Yeah, you got 5 players above 10 points. Vancouver, 33 points, actually outscoring Selic. Is Dorian Thomas with 5 assists as well. And Klink, a bit of a better bench performance than Seattle with 19. But the rest of your starters pulled a lot more weight. Koepenick going 4 of 18, 2 of 10 3-pointers. Big disappointment. So while
Team
shooting
basketball,
more volume,
man.
Pardon?
Team basketball. That's what we're here for. We're not going to win awards, but it's really good for getting wins.
Yes, unless you're Puerto Rico where you can't do anything. Can't be a single or get team. But you can get good vibes, that's what you can get. Go to March 6th, we see a bunch more games. Philly and Mexico City, the second and third worst team in the league, I believe. Ontario being the worst. Falcons and the Unicorns, the very even records. Volts and Matadors, both in the 40 wins. Those are probably the games to look at.
When's our first live game again?
It's
Edinburgh at South Beach, isn't it?
Yes, which is on the 7th, so it's actually tomorrow. It's like That's... Oh, sorry, it's on the 8th.
Oh, good. Had me worried there.
Yeah, I just saw this and I'm like, what? Anyway, bunch of games. Let's go. South Beach 2-0. Big win, actually.
Edinburgh, Madrid.
To get that big important dub.
Good
Panama with an upset.
Panama.
We don't talk about that one.
Ooh, that's a good upset.
Big up, nice upset. Triple, double for Snake Tippins. Where is Sloth?
Somebody ping HO.
Wow, I am now gotten 5 of 7 triple doubles. I make magic happen.
There's something about these 3 PM streams.
I think what it is because I have triple the ping, gives triple the stats.
Oh, of course, that makes sense.
Exactly. What else could it be?
So if we start with South Beach, this is the thing that is scary about South Beach. They, just like last season, they started awfully, but they are really clinging towards a playoff spot now. I think this win puts them about 7th in the East, and man,
I think by now my conference is pretty much settled because there was pretty much you had Ontario and Philly not making it, and there was 3 or 4 teams fighting for it: Panama, Puerto Rico, South Beach, and New York. I think at this point in time, Puerto Rico, we're like 3 or 4 games behind. Like, we would really need a run of both good fortune for us and bad fortune for one of those teams to actually change it up.
If I'm in the East, I don't want to draw South Beach. But wow, great performances from Davidson, Cashmere, and Spud Webb off the bench. Look at that. I can't pronounce your player's name, Titan, but plus 28 off the bench is pretty great. 12 rebounds.
Like, in general, though, that's not actually the type of performance you would expect from a 43-point win, 107 as a team. Like, no one really stood out. General 50% shooting as a team. Still high, but you see numbers like 10 for 31, 9 for 13, 4 from 11, 8 from 11. New York, on the other hand, Yikes.
Yeah, statistics don't mean anything. Just use volume. You're bound to make a shot,
You say
unless you're New York.
made a third shots whilst taking 14 or less shots, 17% three throws, and only barely managing. Oh, actually, they out free throwed South Beach.
I mean, look at this. Points in the paint, second chance points, fast break points.
South Beach had more points in the paint than New York in total.
So if you're a Puerto Rico fan, I think you're very much hoping that New York continues to slide.
Yes, but it doesn't help when we've, I think, lost 2 games now already in this stream.
Mm. How many more streams do we have after this? It's 2 more, or is it 1 more?
It's 3, or it's 1 more week, so that's 3 streams.
Okay, lovely. You can still make it.
There is a chance, but like it's at the point where it's not just going to be one team deciding that we need us to go well and a team to go badly. As we see Edinburgh getting the win over their expansion team Frankfurt.
Look at that, 8 for 20. Oh, sorry, 8 for 25 on freeze.
Took that 1 field goal, SMH.
Pretty good for Bud though. Captain Fatbelly is useless as usual. But the World Division has been such a roller coaster that I think this is a pretty good win for Edinburgh.
As you think about it, you got these 2 expansion teams. You then have Madrid and Singapore at the top, and then you have Puerto Rico.
Yeah. I think though, with playoff seeding becoming clearer as we go about, do you think Edinburgh can achieve like a top 4 finish in in the East?
I think right now they were looking at like a 4th or 5th seed. I think they were slightly ahead of those like 6, 7, 8. So I'm not too sure what the records were coming into this, but I think it's
rooting
possible.
for Seattle East.
From my knowledge, the world teams, so Frankfurt, Madrid, Edinburgh, and Singapore are like dominating that conference, like the top seed in that conference.
Yeah, I feel like Madrid is the first seed and Singapore is the second seed. Feels very set in stone right now with just New Jersey behind them.
Yeah. So it should be interesting. We might see probably one from that conference would be your favourites to make the final. Manipur, Singapore, Edinburgh, Frankfurt, and then the rest of the division. Yeah, so I think this is going to be a good game for Edinburgh to try and secure a 3rd seed.
It's going to be tough with how well New Jersey have been playing, but I think that if the games go their way, they got a good chance of it. We'll of course need to check the standings. I don't have the index on hand.
We'll check it after these games.
Yeah.
I'll try and move a little bit quicker. Because we have spent like half an hour and we've gone through not even 3 days.
Oh wow, yeah. But that's another good game for Madrid. Just on a roll. 64 points in the paint. My god.
And that second chance. 16-5. That lack of O boards for Vegas, 5 compared to 14. The Worm, double. Joe Turner should play of the game. 8 assists, 21 points. Riggs, what did Riggs do? 16 of 25 with 43 points.
Oh boy.
I don't think that's even his own individual high. I believe he's got on about 46. Or he got 45.
Well, he's definitely trying to get in the All-Star game.
We saw that he had 33 player of the games.
33 player of the games. Damn. But still, when the rest of the team can't perform as well, you end up losing to Vegas had 2 players with double digits. Madrid had 6 players in double digits.
And then you look at the volume: 73 shots at 50%, but 45% with 90. Those extra shots from turnovers, 21 compared to 14 turnovers. Getting the steals, getting the blocks, the extra boards, the O boards.
Mm.
Made all the difference for Madrid.
Alright, should we go into the next game then?
Payne. 22
Yes.
rebounds. Which I
And
think is about 2 or 3
Yawa.
Mm-hmm.
Yawa getting player of the game.
Which I think the record this season's around the 24-25 mark. All starters for Mud City getting double digits, despite some shaky shooting, to say the least, from Baby Yoda and Woods.
Well, maybe this is... Well, hopefully this is a sign of growth from them. You know, in the past they've relied quite heavily on those two. And when Woods hasn't played well, the team has kind of collapsed. So this has to be very much welcome for any of those players.
Mm-hmm. Yoda had a +1 point differential this time. Good job. There you go, Shu. You got a +1. Bench. Again, not too much happening in Puerto Rico. Marcus Kane with a pretty nice game. I didn't shoot too terribly. That's 2 from 3 3-pointers. That's actually a positive shooting for once. For myself. That's very rare.
I believe that Shady would like a shout out for Marcus Kane All-Star.
Mm.
Don't know if he'll get it, but
I don't really. I have no idea about voting. I haven't paid attention to stats, and I feel like small forward is still like the hardest position because you have shooting ones to rebound, and you still have a few that are like pass focused. Like other positions are pretty more. I feel like you fit one mold or the other. Small forwards, they're just doing everything.
I'm so happy for us having like an awards team so that we don't have to do this ourselves. Alright, next game then.
That's what I'm saying. Basketball stats are really fun, but you can get so deep into them. Like, say, football stats, it's like, well, but they ran more yards.
Oh, good upset here from San Diego. I doubt he's awake, but that's another great performance for Froby Bryant.
He was in the chat right at the start of stream.
Look at that. Growlithe and Urfa in double digits, along with Porter off the bench. Ooh, second chance points and fast breaks really helped San Diego here. This is a huge upset for them, and great for their little playoff push.
It's just, it's the type of upset you want to see this late in the season to improve your chances of either a better seeding or better just chance of making playoffs, although I think they're comfortably in at the moment.
Austin are very, very definitely in.
I think San Diego's in the mix.
Yeah, I think they're about 7th right now, maybe 8th, maybe 6th. What I do know is that if you're Austin, Vegas, Seattle, or Vancouver in the West, you are basically just fighting for seeding at this point. Lake Superior to a lesser extent, but I think they've dropped a few too many games to be able to get that 1 seed.
So I'm trying to do other things on the side. It's hard to do 2 things at once. I am male after all. Move on to Indiana. A pretty cruisy game here against the Reapers. A good game for them to try and reset their mojo. Sim God with a double-double, 25 points, 12 boards. He's probably someone that's going to be on the voters' minds. I'm going to bring up his stats actually. 24 points per game, almost 9 boards per game. He's definitely had some good performances, very solid, stable. Salinar as well, consistently the double-double machine.
And this is really good for Indiana because if I remember correctly, they were in the 9th spot in the West.
Yes,
so
they were
really.
They really needed some wins coming into today. You don't want to drop it against a team who's pretty much all but out of the playoffs.
I mean, this is a team who spent over $1 million on NTG the worst, you know?
Good thing they got rid of him so they could lose anyway. sub 30% shooting compared to 46% shooting. I think that says enough.
Yeah. Alright, next game.
We had Lake Superior inch it out against the Detroit Generals. 8-point game, but Lake Superior were never trailing. Had as much of a 17-point lead. Johnny Buckets, player of the game, 28 points, 10 boards. So they had a game high performance. Tippins with another double. Wait. Oh, this was the triple double we saw.
This was the triple.
Yes.
Doesn't even get player of the game for it.
I think that little lack of efficient shooting, but you would have thought the extra, like 11 extra rebounds. Not rebounds, assists, sorry. Jeez.
We got our first triple-double, and all of a sudden we started treating them like what Russell Westbrook does.
To be fair, I do believe, coming into this sim, I think only like one of the 5 triple-doubles actually ended up winning, I believe I was told.
That was Dave Davidson, wasn't it, with
yes,
the first one?
But now both this one here by Tippins and Willie Miller is actually on a winning team. Still sub 50%, which is amazingly funny to me. It's literally like Westbrook.
Screw you, OKC. Alright, with that, let's get ahead to the next game.
Which was the second place bowl, Philly and Mexico City, going the way of the Philadelphia Lightning.
Oh, you hate to win this one, you really do.
Seems like that third quarter, Philly were able to pull it back, get some forward momentum, and hang on into the last quarter. Both teams shooting kinda poorly. Philly
it was
35.
so close to getting a 50-point game.
I mean, just look at the stats there. Philly shot only 61 times, but at 35%. Mexico City shot at 28.
Oh my god, they got 69 points of 61 shots.
Yes.
That's awful.
Mexico City shot 28%, but 78 shots. They actually landed more shots in than Philly. But their percentage was that low that it equaled out. And then the free throws. Yeah, Buffalo pretty much won them the game. But they still have a pretty poor free throw percentage because Boucher had went 3 of 9. Not pretty, I think is the word. Soderbergh, though, decent performance again from Mexico City with another double-double. Cambridge off the bench as well, decent, but so many stars. 0 from 1, 1 from 10, 0 from 2, 2 from 11. They need another shooter. A consistent shooter. Like one of those, even like Von Salinar, Thunderbunk type S1 stat lines, where they can just consistently put up the double-doubles as needed.
Yeah, because Soderbergh is their main big right now.
Soderbergh is their entire team.
Soderbergh definitely needs some support. But you lose games, you'll get that support.
We move on to March 7th, which is just a quick one-gamer, so we'll sim this out, then I'll go bring up the standings. Panama, 32-point winners over Ontario. Jared Stanton, player of the game with 24 points. Double-double for basketball, the third. And for basketball, chess off the bench. Nice numbers coming in. 11 assists for 44. 11 points paid at the great. Almost 50% shooting. Pretty nicely done. Comfortable win.
Chess gets a nice double-double.
Ontario, double-double for De Ferrari. Good job, Musha. Unfortunately, no one else in your team could do that much. Great Carly,
just the efficiency just wasn't there.
Yeah.
25 for 80 on field goals.
Just look at the start. 2 for 14, 1 for 2, 1 for 7, 0 from 3. And so De Ferrari was 5 and 15. The rest of the starters went 4 for 23. I really have no idea what leads to the differences in free throws, because I believe all positions have the same draw foul, I wonder if it might be builds that have a lot of like drive and shoot, drive and pass.
Yeah, I
Probably
think
drive and shoot.
especially, yeah, if you're holding on to the ball for longer, you've probably got more opportunities of getting fouled. Plus, this is a draft day sport, so chances are it's going to be like the NBA from last year, where the slightest contact is a foul.
Well, that's the only thing, because like, we don't have any stats for it, so I assume it's going to be those drivers. It's more than likely, because you don't see, like, it's not just random, it's not just shooters, it's only particular people.
Mm.
Brings us to March 8th.
And our first live game.
I will do a standards check, though, for people.
Yeah, should we just do conference so that we can go nice and quick?
So you look at A, so it is Madrid, Singapore, New Jersey, Edinburgh, Frankfurt, and then you see that drop off. 29, 34, 28, 34. New York Imperials are a few games behind that, and then Puerto Rico are a few games behind that again. If they win 2, they could go 27-40. New York would have to lose 3 straight for them to be tied up. That's sort of the situation you're looking at.
I guess just gonna need some wins.
Gonna need to believe.
Oh look, and with Indiana's win, they've been able to take the 8th seed right now.
Temporarily, they have.
They
have played, what, 4 less games?
Yeah, something like that.
So even if they go 50-50 here, they would take ahead. And again, you sort of see Vancouver, Austin, slight gap down, Seattle, Vegas, another gap. To Superior, Wolves, even San Diego now have 2-3 games on top of that 8th spot fight.
Man, I really wish that the standings here had games played.
Yeah, just so you didn't have to like mentally calculate it. Most teams now though are around the 62-63 mark. Like,
so there's still everything to play
64, 64, 66. Indiana, I think, has one of the lowest played. They're like 63.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're looking at the mid 60s. Most teams, you're looking at about 15 to 20 games max left. Okay, we go to the live game, which is the Golden Unicorns going up against South Beach Sting.
Would you have any like jersey preference? If not, then I'll say put the thirds out.
The alternates.
Yeah.
We'll do any other really big games. Wolves, Venom, the 2 contending teams. Falcons, Generals. Admirals, Madrid. Madrid don't want to lose that. Admirals want to keep giving themselves.
Imperials Haymakers is actually going to be huge for both teams, like playoff seeding.
Yeah. You saw Haymakers just got AFC. Imperials want to try and make sure they get that playoff berth. I think after I would have to look off the top of my head. I'll do it as we sim games. What teams in S1 didn't make playoffs that aren't making playoffs this season? So Mexico City.
What teams in Mexico City, Carolina? If
Rico.
Indiana doesn't make it, then that will be 2 in a row for them.
Puerto Rico at this rate as
Puerto Rico. Yep. New York if they aren't able, or if they fall out of contention. I think that's about it for now.
About 4 or 5 teams out of the original 16.
Yeah.
Okay, we shall sim. I don't think Uber said you can pick. Indiana did get the win there, I believe. No really, not any upsets. I don't not think.
AI control.
Yep. Alexa to do that to me. So we see Golden Unicorns. I got Toro, their high scorer. But then Stone chipping in with double digits. Where South Beach, the Carlton Kashmir show, they has to be stopped if they want to win. Dave Davis and Q can also pick up the slack.
Yeah, and you can look to Miami Vice for rebounds, and hopefully to Spud Webb on the bench to make a big difference.
We shall go to tip off. Make sure sounds are off. Get the hell out of here. Get rid of the pause that stops as well. Off we go. I shall come here.
Yeah,
play some music as well. Like, turn that down a little bit, so if you do want to talk, we still can.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not on the stream, so I can't hear the music, so...
Yeah. It's just a nice rock and roll.
You don't want to be playing dubstep into these good people's ears at, like... what is it, 8 in the morning?
I'm just playing, I'm playing a death metal band. So, I don't know if that's any better.
Lovely. But this looks to be in a fairly even first half right now. South Beach is leading, but Edinburgh's not far behind at all.
I can see Twitch chat discussing the Don Goddard's MFC over down bad. Maury says he's not sure how much tendencies are affecting it. He has 18 drive and shoot, but averages less than 5 3-throw attempts per game. It'd be so much easier if there's an easier way to sort of comb through players for it. But I do wonder if we will sort of look at the players who have the highest drive and shoots, what their free throw attempts are, just to sort of test that theory. And like, again, like you said, like different positions, but like, it's really hard to, like, it's just a theory, nothing I've seen based on it. But just, there's gotta be something somewhere that can like pick up a trend.
That kind of data analytics, we'd have to hire a consultant for that.
Swanty!
I was gonna say me, but...
But did you have to be smart to do that?
Hey, I got a first class degree. It's in medieval history, but it's the same thing, isn't it?
It's when the sim was built.
Same thing. Exactly.
Oh, I'm not looking forward. I've got a thesis to do this year. Not fun.
What do you have to do this year?
I'm doing my honours, so I've got to do a thesis.
Ooh, how many words is that?
I believe it is 10,000.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah,
you run out of space before you know it.
And you still got to do like, I think a 3,000 to 4,000 word, like, I can't think what the word they use. It's not like, it's like a proposal, but it's not exactly a proposal.
I think I know what you're talking about. Ooh, look at that. Close game so far heading into the second quarter. 4-point lead to South Beach.
Stay close throughout so far. No team's gotten ahead.
Yeah, I think South Beach's biggest lead has been like 5 points.
The 3-pointers right now from Unicorn, keeping them in it nicely.
I'll be really interested to see. I think that South Beach's rebounding right now is really just making sure that the Unicorns can't like cut in too deep.
Yeah, they want to try and shut down Fat Belly with some pressure to stop his assist game. Uber Lee got a low-key solid catalogue of original music. Honestly, true.
Ooh, nice free to tie the game. And Davidson can't make any of his free throws.
I love how you're talking about the game and I'm just here talking to Twitch chat.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Discord channel stream, so I can't hear the Twitch chat. But it's good, you know, you're the colour commentator and I'm the play-by-play. I mean, we can just go back to talking about education. I'm happy with that.
You go.
Ooh.
Let me see.
Oh, that's a tough shot for Charbin.
Boards, but misses from Davison. A steal leads to a steal into a miss shot.
Oh, that was a dead ball. Wow.
Uber, my bench center just hit a corner 3. Is your bench center? Yes. From my knowledge, there's only 2 stretch 5s still in the league. And he's probably hit a corner 3 better than I can. Grover Jackson. He's not stretch 3, is he? Is he a floor spacer? Maybe, I haven't checked recently. No.
South Beach can get a 2-for-1 hit.
Pretty nice way to end the half. And Edinburgh do make their shot, but South Beach miss theirs. Grover is an inside monster and he shot a corner 3.
Oh my.
He's 1 for 2 at 3 point. Why is he a better 3-point shooter? Oh my god.
I think you're gonna break darkness this stream.
Oh, I just wanna shoot 3s. I think I'm shooting like 24% for 3s. Where my expected is around 34, 33.
Whereas here we've got some actual good 3-point shooters. Nagatoro on a 50% split right now, being the biggest contributor to Edinburgh. Definitely need some more, but Stones provided some decent coverage. Whereas Kashmir is already going off 19 points. I think this is really going to be a depth game. If either one of these teams can pull out their depth, they'll start to run away with it.
That's exactly what I was going to say. At this moment, it's pretty much just being Nagatoro versus Kashmir. And although Kashmir has gone 2 from 13 field goals and gotten 14 points from the free throw line.
Although look at those second chance points. I know it's only 1 to 2, but need more rebounds.
Yeah, but that means 9 O boards and only 3 second chance. How do you get 1 second chance point, by the way?
What's that?
How do you get one second chance point?
How do you get 1 second chance point?
O board into a foul and you make the free throw? But that wouldn't count. Like, that's not the second. Like, does that count? Does the free throw count for second chance?
I think that counts. Because you got fouled on the second chance.
Yeah. If I was looking at this, if Kashmir can just land his shots, they could probably run away with this. But like you said, if someone else can step up from besides those two, it will be a nice.
That will be game. Dave Davidson on 2 points. I just wanted to point that out before we go back to the game. Kotasi, you suck.
When doesn't he though?
It's true. Too busy putting on the Rogaine.
Wasn't like I just don't actually know. Does that actually count? I'm assuming that's what it is. It's just counting a free throw. I don't know. Does real life would that count as a second chance point?
Wow, 51 games so far for Kashmir with 20 points.
And that's what 51. Probably about what 63, 64-ish.
Yeah, that's pretty damn good.
Just maybe that's decent.
South Beach's players seem to be like joining in the shooting right now. Look at that. Their last 3 field goals have all been from different players, I believe.
Webb gained 10 points and 8 for Vice and Alamatar, 5 for Davidson. Kashmir has scored I think 2 for 2. 2 for 2. 1 for 2 or 1 for 3 on the break.
And South Beach is really starting to pull away now, because Edinburgh can't even buy a bucket.
Yeah, and of course they can't. Uber is poor.
And Uber now scores to spite me.
And spite me too. Heck you, Uber. Commentator's curse.
JQ now at 10-2. I think that takes South Beach up to 3 players with double digits.
Believe so.
Grover Jackson's having a good game though. 6 points and 4 rebounds.
And you go to Davidson, who's got 5 assists with his 7 points. Labatar, still no one else there with double digits. They're gonna need someone. But 8 assists from Fat Belly, going nicely.
Yeah, let's see if Fat Belly can pull off triple-double form. Although he is tired out there. That's been quite interesting to me this season. Obviously with all teams basically taking less depth. How has that affected substitutions? Because you got a Fat Belly now basically on his last legs, as Nagatoro gets 20 points for the 30th time this season, especially in like these expansion teams. Just how much factor do you think that is in their games?
Well, it's interesting for me because going off what teams did at the end of the last season, so just the like say S1 teams, I think Puerto Rico was the only team that like ran, like I think we ran sub at 50 or sub at like 60. Everyone else was higher, say sub out rates or changed it up between players like starters and benchies, so the bench starters would come in more often.
Well, I know that in Seattle we played around with it just to see how long can we keep our players out here for, but I think we decided to go pretty uniform along the board with it.
I found in terms of minutes, I didn't really see a significant difference. Like maybe results it might change slightly, but overall the minutes, like whether you made that sub at 50 or sub at like 90, your players would play the same minutes.
Yeah.
So I believe it actually would just overwrites it from the matrix. So if it's sub at 90, then it's just, well, we'll sub you back in as soon as we can anyway.
I know that with my bots, it was just like, get in, get out. Ooh, and as we come into like the final 6 minutes, Edinburgh seem to have closed the gap a bit. That is what, a 7-point game? Nice rebound for them. Oof. Just the shooting splits aren't there for them right now.
They have moved it up to only an 8-point game. Not sure. Like seeing a few steals, O boards, but gets an O ball into an offensive foul. Carl Havoc, don't elbow people in the head when you get a rebound. Not what you normally meant to do. But they make a free throw and a 2-point shot. Lead down to 7. Kashmir brings up his 30-point total.
If Havoc has the same render as his ISFL player, then he's probably just kicking people. You know, just Kota Ibushi things. That's a good point, Uber. He isn't Carl Pacifist.
Lambertar gets 20 points for his 5th time this season.
Oh, lovely. Love to see the Rooks do that.
He really stepped up to aid in the Kashmir shooting. He's shooting 10 for 12. With 12 boards, he might be a sneaky player of the game. Kashmir still probably gets it, but he was shooting 25% compared to 10 of 12. He's probably right around the, I want to say 87, 88%.
But this game's about done.
Oh, this game is done, and it is going to the way of the South Beach Sting. 103 to 94 winners. I will make this music stop now. Bye bye, Akshan. Hello. Stats. Player of the game indeed goes to Carlton Kashmir because he went 19 of 20 from the free throw line.
30 points is pretty great, you know?
3 points, but how about just making the shots and getting 3-point plays as well?
And you really did see the depth start to stand up, but definitely more so for South Beach. And that played off in a big way.
Hugh Davidson and Webb getting into the 10-point range, while Lambertar gets to 22. Also, Edinburgh only sees Stone and Bernstein get above 10. You got yourself 13 assists and 3 of 13 shooting. Playing that, they tried to hack a Kashmir, but Kashmir could shoot free throws. Yeah, just generally, look at the difference in shooting. Unicorn had 96 shots, South Beach had 77. But South Beach made more shots and then all those free throws.
It's a really good for South Beach though. They just keep climbing up and up. And
just like last season, getting the momentum and starting to peak and taper at the right moments.
If you're a Singapore player, be scared. Be very scared.
be very afraid as we look at Madrid's 10-point win here over San Diego. The Worm picking up a double-double. Just another night for him. Turner with 28 points is actually the team high. Jones off the bench, 19 points. Great supporting act, getting their own double-double. Better shooting coming from Madrid with very similar efficiency. Free throws as well, extra going in for Madrid. San Diego, Phoebe, Porter both putting up 20 points. Double digits for Uther, Kennedy, and Velodos. Not enough though to get them against the line, but Madrid is looking to be probably the top team in that East Conference, so still a pretty decent performance here. Something to be proud of if you're a San Diego fan.
Yeah, plus you've still got the 7th seed with quite a few games in hand, so I don't think you'd be too upset dropping to Madrid right now.
They were winning at one point by 14. So probably a nice start in the first and second quarter. That third quarter was the big turnaround for Madrid, and they carried that forth into that last quarter. New York, Indiana, big game there. Indiana securing the win. Von Salinar, bit of a wake-up game for him. 22 points, 16 boards, going back to assert his dominance.
That's got to be so frustrating for New York, because I think that this is probably their first good team game since the trade and probably of this sim session, and just to lose to 3 very good players in the Indiana starting lineup.
They still have some nice off the bench there from Magnuson and Brooks Squared. Pastor Rockman getting a lot of pave points from the charity stripe. Double coming in from Maradona. Venture having a decent little game. Apparently he's someone else that's useful as a former passion player. God damn it. Bench as well. You got, like you said, Price Thompson, some handy dandy stuff coming all around. Shooting percentage is almost identical, but the extra volume of shots, 85 compared to 75. Free throws are very similar. Very close game though. Good morning to you, Chess, as well. I don't know how many. I think Padaman's played one, maybe two games. He picked up a win against Ontario. Frankfurt getting the win as they sneak past Detroit that last quarter. They took in their defeat and snatched a victory by 5 points. They went up, 8 points in that last quarter? And their largest lead was by 5, so I don't think they must have been... It must have been very back and forth, and then they finally eked out at the end.
That final quarter for Detroit just wasn't fun for them. Their slide continues this session. The Gens have been a team that I can't quite wrap my head around them. I don't know whether they're a contender, a pretender, or a
I think they are
lottery team.
I think they are a team that are good, but they're not gonna go far. Like you look at a Seattle or like Madrid, they are consistent even in their defeats. They are still churning out good performances. When Detroit are playing well, they could trouble some teams. Or they can sit here with 2 of 10, 5 of 17, 33% shooting with 21 turnovers. And while Frankfurt played just as poorly, these are games where they don't seem to just fix it. They just slump and play consistent.
Really just did enough here.
Lottery teams implies the existence of a lottery. Make it happen. As the team that I think, I don't know the record in the other conference, but I either would probably be 5th or 6th. I'll take a lottery. I can only go up. Knowing my luck, I'm probably going down. I feel like a lottery with only 6 teams probably isn't as bad as it was with a lottery with 8 teams.
Yeah, but I think the HL is still pretty against doing lotteries right now.
Yeah,
I mean, it's pretty hard if you're going to try and tank for 82 games.
Like, yeah, like, it's a really fun concept, and I really do like the lottery, but, like, yeah, just, you know, you of course, you do stuff like the NBA, make it so, you know, if you were expected the first pick, you can't fall any lower than having the fourth pick. You could work it out like that. I just don't know. Like, imagine being the worst team and then falling down to fourth pick, and that happens like 2 or 3 seasons in a row. You
Plus,
get screwed out.
I would really want our recruitment to like kick up a notch before we even like think about stuff like that. But should we go to the next game then?
Now I think we should just end the stream.
Yeah, that sounds good. End it on a Seattle win.
We did that game.
Oh, we did that. Yeah, Singapore.
Singapore, pretty small win here over Mexico City, but
14 points is still fairly decent.
But when you're versing one of the better teams against one of the worst teams, probably not as much as you would expect. Double-double, Patrick Money, player of the game, double-double for Thunderbunk, and a double-double for Banks, whilst also 21 points coming from Tugboat Rider as the team high. Mexico City, 15 points from Soderberg, team high. Petrov, Cambridge, and Timmy Jimmy also actually getting double digits, but shooting efficiency has not been kind to them. Plus volume, shooting 22 less shots than South Singapore.
Oh, that second quarter is going to haunt him, you'd think. Because for those 3 quarters out of 4, we played really well.
Zane says, can't really tank till S5. Yeah, I think that's the other thing you're going to see is there's no point tanking right now for an S3 first rounder because you're just going to be 2 seasons behind so many people. Like, it wouldn't be okay to, like, trade all your picks for, say, round 5, really tank, and then, like, obliterate in, like, 5 seasons' time. But when regression is 9 seasons, like, that is going to be over a real-life year before you get to that point. I don't know how many teams can realistically, so early on in the league, go, yeah, that's our plan.
Yeah.
Especially in a new sim, because you just don't know how capable it's going to be. Seattle, demolition here.
Oh man, look at those plus minuses on our
We
starters.
were as much as 46 points winners. But what did this end up 43?
Oh, you hate to see it. Hate to see it.
Got caught slipping. I feel like you probably backed off in that fourth quarter with some garbage time minutes.
Do love seeing Selic with a plus 43.
Jesus. 51% as a team. Your bot's playing 12, 13 minutes, probably because they played a lot of garbage time, I suspect. Ontario Legends, 1 of 11 for Musha. You did not have a good game. Richards, 50%. You see 2 of 10 through A, 7 11, 1 6 2 3.
Yes, Musha, even our bots are active.
That's sort of the struggle for Ontario. They're probably going to be that team looking to try and get a sort of tank, not really tank, but rebuild from future season picks. We'll see how that goes. They're going to struggle for a while. Last game of the day was Vancouver, squeaking by Mud City. Look at that fourth quarter for me.
Oh, Mud City. You know, just for that, you're getting called
Blush,
Chicago.
do you hear this? Do you know what that is?
Yeah, that sound is not safe for work.
No, that's the sound of Mud City choking its win away.
Man. Yeah, that's the worst kind of way to lose.
It's funny. I can only laugh with other people's pain. Did we see?
I just feel bad.
William Clink CK getting yourself a player of the game. 20 points with 4 blocks, 2 steals. 11 points for Thomas, 12 for Kopernik. Purdue also off the bench with 11. That fourth quarter is just wow. Just wow. Baby Yoda, 31 points, some decent there with a +2. Double. 11 points for Rolf and 15 from Allen. Could not steady the ship. 34% shooting compared to 41% on the same amount of shots. The extra free throws gave them a chance, same as the second chance points. But yeah, that fourth quarter, Vancouver decided to actually show up, and Mud City decided to not. Okay, moving on to
I'm just in stunned silence.
Sting Haymakers. That's going to be a pretty big game. Both teams trying to secure playoff spots. Everyone else is, and same as I guess Panama as well. But they have a much easier opponent. Philly upset win here over Detroit. Indiana comfortably. And
Oh god,
Panama
this
though,
really
2 big upsets.
Mexico City over Panama.
I think I might have
This was
posted.
big day for upsets.
Todd Dion with a double-double, 18 boards with 14 points. 17 points for Boucher, 18 points for Kruger, and 14 for Dingo off the bench. Nice little spread coming in for them with 44% shooting as a team, 50% three-point shooting compared to the 29 and 21 for Detroit. Again, inconsistent. They're a team that can get some nice grindy wins, and then they can have one of the worst shooting performances seen.
Buffalo, 6 points.
Not one quarter above 20 points.
Oh, look at that. 26, 25, 21, 12. Detroit really are the Jekyll and Hyde.
Very disappointing there. Sunny, probably the only bright spot for them. 20 points with 8 of 15 shooting.
Yeah, I mean, that's almost a third of your team's points.
Yep. You see Indiana, though, with a nice 16-point win. Really pushing into this to secure their playoff spot here.
This has really been an ideal sim for them with their wins and with Detroit just sliding as much as they are.
Hummus hit me up in the DMs and said I can play for Nola in the PB to make Hall of Fame. So getting some good luck to them. Extra garlic. Speaking of Hummus, he actually gets the player of the game. I didn't even realize that. 26 points for Simgod with a double-double. Saw Salano with a double-double. 24 points to Garlic. Nice performance from him. 50% shooting with Chris Brick Square. Also 10 points off the bench. Kashmir 30 points. Slight performances off the bench from Webb and Boot, but nothing from the starters. Had a hard time with Kashmir. He needs that bit of extra support, whether it be defensively or with a lot more assist or shooting. He just needs something.
Yeah, and you can see what their bots played a lot.
If we go back into it, what were fouls like? For not even really many fouls. I don't know why their bots played. Interesting.
Alright.
Big upset.
Panama, Mexico City. Another big upset.
Petrov, 33 points. He has actually showed up. I'm assuming that's also like a record high for him. Yes, it is. With 6 turnovers though, but that is the performance they need. Soderbergh finally having some support. They still have a very solid double-double game, but Ruby's able to scoundrel up 11 points despite only having 25% shooting. Petrov gets 50% shooting and almost 50% three-point shooting. As a team, they shoot 40%. They get free throws. And they shoot almost 75% there. They finally put together a good team game. And despite Panama actually making a late comeback, picking up 8 extra points in that fourth quarter, they managed to actually hold on. Very un-Mexico City-like. Panama, though. Oof.
So I feel like if you see games like this from a Mexico City perspective, you are able to kind of convince yourself that you are just that 1 or 2 players off in the draft from becoming a much better team next season.
Even just free agency or trade, being able to pick up, well, off the market now, but could you imagine if you inserted someone like Baz to defensively hold this team together? So
See, I was going more the opposite way and thinking more about getting another point scorer to help with Del Vecchio, because I feel like small forwards have been incredibly important for a lot of successful teams. And so if you can get a small forward to play more minutes, you can score more, you can be more comfortable in Del Vecchio's position.
is that Blas saying small forward's the most important position of the team?
Oh, I'm a big Twyra Kirkby and Vincent Schreiber stan, so yes, it is.
I do wonder what. I guess it'll be very hard to tell, but in the future, like first season it was centre dominated. We're starting to see a bit more power forwards and some guards really showing up. I do wonder in like another, say, what season 5 and then what like season 10, what position's gonna really dominate the league.
I think as the seasons go past, we'll be able to see more smaller teams being successful, and this is going to sound egotistical, but I do think that my team's success in season 1 has kind of skewed people into jumping the gun a bit on playing small ball.
And I do wonder if we will eventually see stuff like that, having certain teams that set up around, not having a centre and playing 2 power forwards, or playing a small forward, a power forward as well. Playing a bit more small, playing a bit more big ball. Like I know in Puerto Rico, a lot of our top players were all forwards. So coming into S2, our top 5 TPG with the 2 centres, the 2 power forwards, and the small forward.
Yeah.
So we probably would have benefited from playing big ball.
I'm just very much a fan of trying to keep everyone as diverse as possible. There's many opportunities, Shall we get on to the next game then?
Yes, we shall. Maury wants to say S1 was not dominated by centres. The best teams had good guards and
by
forward
Seattle,
play.
innit?
Yes, but even in those teams, the centres always put up the decent stats. Like the guards were quite inconsistent, but you had the Salinars, Thunderbunks. You had so many even bad centres being able to just put up a double-double.
That's true. I'm very much skewed by.
They seem to be just as such an anchor to that team, and it included power forwards. Like the forwards, which is a lot more consistent. If you didn't have a centre able to be consistent, you pretty much were losing. Guards might have won USA playoffs or better seeding, but centres right now
That's a
interesting.
very
You
good
already
game
seen the
for
change from S1
Vancouver.
with that, because I believe per in S1 was very much always all centres. I wonder what player efficiency. I think player efficiency still favours centres though. We can check that afterwards. Vancouver picking up a nice 12-point win here.
And again, it was a third quarter collapse that stopped Caroline from winning it.
6 players getting double digits for Vancouver. 25 for Bashir and 20 for Habyorn. Pretty nice. But just lacked a little bit of support. Vancouver had a really good shooting game though. Almost 50%. So Carolina's honestly not a bad game here. Almost 44% shooting as a team. Nice 10-0 boards, only 16 turnovers. Low fouls, but Vancouver put on a show today. Also, CK, why are you showing up as orange and with a crowd? Are you a mod? Are you a mod in this Twitch chat?
I thought that's just for people with Prime.
Was that Prime? I don't know. I don't know Twitch.
No, me neither.
We go on to the 10th. We have a massive clash in the World Division. Sunbears v Matadors.
Ooh,
And
that's
then
going to be fun.
Orchids going against New York. New York slipping a little bit, needing this win to help.
Oh, just watch, they'll get this win.
Whilst the Orchids want to continue their reign of dominance. Either the Prime sub. So then why is CK orange but you're gold? Do you pick your colour?
They have no idea what the colours are.
Let's
not question Amazon before we get disappeared.
Oh, it's okay, because we're going to see Singapore win.
Ooh, Singapore, big win.
Seattle. Yes, we both wanted that.
Yes. See, as long as Seattle is right behind Vancouver, I am, hopeful that we can get a repeat of last season's postseason.
You can pick your name. Like I said, I know nothing about Twitch. I just hit go live, and that does the same as if I'm on YouTube. I know how to use YouTube. I like YouTube. I personally prefer the YouTube live streaming more than Twitch. But I think that's because for YouTube, I've never had to do like a proper live stream. I can like display a window, so I don't have. I can like go back and forth.
Could always use that bot that streams to YouTube and Twitch at the same time.
Yeah, I heard about that. Anyway,
Oh, but
Spontaneous Banks,
very good
double,
win.
All starters with double-digit points: 26, 10, 10, 12, and 15. Plus 31.
That's team basketball right there.
Thunderbunk had a plus 31, only playing 12 minutes before fouling out.
And the defense is really there because they let off in the fourth quarter, and that's still quite a very good win. Look at that 31-point lead at one point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even with one of their premier players sitting out 3/4 of the game, they finished very well. With money also getting in double. Madrid, 20 points. Turner, the worm with a double. Asui, 33% shooting. It's not a bad performance here by Madrid, but they
just wasn't good enough.
Failed to capitalize on some opportunities. They didn't save it up until that last quarter. That third quarter really put them in the mud.
I really hope we see Singapore and Madrid in the playoffs. That'd be a fun 7-game series.
I'll sleep through it. Seattle player of the game. We get to see Amore Franklin Fitzgerald with a 23-point game. Ramza, you got 10 points, not bad. For Kirkby, Select with 23. A little bit quiet bench today though for you guys, but your starters did their job.
That second quarter is definitely very big for us.
Really got the game away in that quarter and kept going. For New York, Ruckman, Venture, and Son of Zero having some nice games, as well as Price off the bench. It's not enough people doing enough. Ruckman and Venture and Son of Zero, whilst having the high scores, did not have efficient enough shooting.
Overall, just a very good team performance from Seattle. Our specialty.
We go to March 11th. Passion, Panama. We really.
Ooh, that's going to be very big.
Haymakers in action.
And then Raiders Orcas is going to be. I think that there might be an upset there. Sloth isn't in the chat to jinx me this time.
Top teams versus some bottom teams, and then playoff teams in action. Have a look. We are away. March 15th is our next live.
Electricity battle. Let's go.
Vegas win comfortably. Pain.
Panama takes it. Pain. Austin.
Indiana on a surge of late. I think 3 or 4 in a row.
Good win for New Jersey. Another win for Seattle and Vancouver.
Vegas taking the win here. Joshua Bright with 26 points. Nice game all round from their starters. Sullivan struggled a little bit, but all round pretty decent. Off the bench though, Bright's definitely that bright spot. Haha. Was his 4 steals with 50% plus shooting. Philly, Buffalo bounce back game. Nice, 32 points, 7 of 15. Nice shooting. Petra Sabor with decent shooting as well. Dion getting his normal boards and 5 blocks. Monster effort. Dingo 1 of 14. Kruger 4 of 12. Their bench depth though really went astray. Probably what cost them in the end, with their efficiency and shots going down.
And Vegas really needed that win, you think?
Especially against a lower opponent. Panama, Stanton, another play of the game for him. Despite a very weird off game here, second and third quarter to go, Panama really kept it dominated before the table swapped in the fourth, but it was too little too late. Lot with a double-double, 13 points for Peter the Great and 11 points for Jetson off the bench. Puerto Rico, 4 out of 5 starters getting double-digit points. Not bad, honestly. But then Garcia going 0 from 11. I went 0 from 4 3-pointers, so I still can't land shit. Mike Boss 1 of 11. I got one word for this. Pain.
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
Pain.
Yeah, you guys should probably cobble and get some more bread.
Had this right, just
Boston takes on Ontario. Good 15-point win. Oh, look, it's the rig man himself, Kale rigging the games, Johnson.
Pretty comfortably in the end.
It.
With a lot more shots, 66 to 83. Better efficiency. Ontario in that first quarter only putting up 9 points, put them from behind from the get-go. Never caught up. Indiana, you can go through this game. I'm gonna go get a drink.
Okay. Indiana crushes Uber's hopes and dreams with a very good performance here. 90-71 win. God Sim God with 36 points. He's the main force, but Brick Squared also did pretty well with 19, and Salinar to a lesser extent with 10 points and 6 rebounds. On Edinburgh's side, this is just one of those days where when the threes don't hit your way, they really don't hit your way. Nogatoro going 6 for 18, 33%, and Ed Bud going 3 for 17. Oh, I hate to see that. Always want to see my former Orcas do well. But you've got Dead Left Shrimp, sorry. My Sonics fan is coming out. Dead Left Shrimp with 10 points there. Bud still managed 11, Nagatoro 18. This is a game where volume just wasn't enough. Volume is not greater than efficiency.
10 of 46,
except for when it is.
Just yikes.
Yeah, 3 for 17 on threes for Bud.
It's always gonna be a big ouch. Good win for Indiana, really powering late into this season. New Jersey, 12-point wins over New Mexico City. Missing buckets with 20 points. Nice performance by him on about 40% shooting.
Nothing really out of the ordinary here.
Nothing really special either. Soderbergh,
yeah, this is kind of what I expect from both these teams.
Soderbergh with a double-double, the rest of the team failing. Mexico City actually out, percentage-wise, better shooting in general play, but New Jersey, their 3-pointers, putting them ahead. You can tell we're speeding up because we're about at the 19-minute mark. We still have about 6 days and a live stream to go. We're halfway through the days, and we're 90 minutes
Hell
in.
Yeah. Let's go.
Fitzgerald, nice game here, 31 points.
Look at those points in the paint. And why even bother taking points in the paint when threes are worth more?
And then you can shoot at 55%.
Look at that. 7 from 11 from 3. 6 out of 11 from 3.
3 of 6 and 2 of 5. Just yikes. Yeah, despite giving up a lot of extra O boards as well, you can contain them.
Good performances from the bench from Kane and Schreiber to secure the win.
21 points, high score for Raiders, Johnny Buckets. Dibbins in 14th, some more with 11. No one really stood up for Lake Superior, who were inferior in that game. Then finally, Venom beating South Beach. Dorian Thomas with a double-double and 7 assists, getting close to a triple-double. U Fjord, 10 of 15 with 20 points. And off the bench, CK Klink with 17 points and 9 boards. South Beach side of the stat table, Kashmir shooting at about 28%, 23 points, 14 points for Q, double-double for Webb, 15 and 15. But not enough, didn't have the efficiency or the volume compared to Vancouver.
Very good win for the Venom.
Very good indeed. That brings us to March 12th. Generals trying to have been very inconsistent, but the passion have been utter rubbish. So that should be a great game to skip over and only see who wins. Antietam's
Let's
Wolves.
see.
Wolves are starting to slip back now, sitting just above 500. Panama really want to continue getting another win or two to round out their sim to try and secure their playoff spot. Same can be said for New York, but they are going against the Venom, which is going to be a no easy feat for them to get that win, especially whilst away. I want to get predictions from you, Blast. Who do you think's winning each game?
If I have to pick right now, I'd probably go Passion Wolves Venom.
All three.
And
home
let's
team.
see me be 3 for wrong. 0 for 3, let's go.
Hey!
Oh, Passion
Hey!
Wolves
Hey!
Venom.
122. That's got to be one of the highest scores for a team we've seen.
Oof.
I say that with no evidence, but just feels right.
Oh, at least it's a fun way to actually is 122. I swear there've been more than 122.
You've probably seen high, but I've seen like 200, like 210 between teams before.
Yeah.
Someone see 130.
Maury's got it right.
Like it sounds
Look.
really high, but I'm sure it's been done better.
Look at this. Big yellow dub.
Hey, look at this. I still went 0 from 6. But
At least you got
I will
8
hijack
points?
this for a second.
You're
Look
gonna
at my
hijack
shooting.
the stream. Okay, let's take a look.
Look at that 3-point shooting. I'm a stretch 5 and I can't shoot 30% in one area.
I'm sorry, I'm on Seattle. All I know is green.
All I know is win, win, no matter what. Anyway, what do we see? We see 4 blocks for both Baker and Bogut. Mike Bosco had 6 of 20 shots, damn, but he picked up 18, not bad. Kane, go vote him for small forward of the year. And again, has been doing nice things. Detroit, 16 points from Jones, the only real standout there, picking up a double-double. Big Yoshi and Bunny also got double digits, but nothing enough. Less extra volume for Puerto Rico, getting them across the line. SD has had 5 days off. What do you mean? Mud City, 20-point winners here over Panama. Baby Yoda, player of the game. We're finally here. How many has he got in this season? Only 27.
27.
Full players
Slacking,
of the week and
really.
player of the month.
Lacking, really.
11 of 23, so just under 50% shooting. Also picks up 9 boards, 3 assists, 2 steals, and a block. Samir Woods, 2 of 12. 12 points. Allen, almost 50%, picking up 17 points. 17 points from McKinley as well off the bench with a double-double performance. Donio as the team only shooting 39%. Their 3-pointers and free throws, plus extra volume, get them across the line over Panama. 18 points, basketball's their high scorer. 12 points, Peter the Great. And then Chess and Small Man getting double digits off the bench. But compared to where, say, you had a Yoda just single-handedly manhandling the Panama defense, they could not do the same to Mud City.
And now Vancouver's big blowout.
With a 44-point first quarter.
New forward player of the game. Love to see it. Look at that. Jesus. 44, 25, 24, 29. Oh, thank God it was against New York and not against me.
But if you look at the stats and points, a lot of different spreads. 13, 19, 17, 20, 17, 12. No one-man performance here. Shooting 50%. It's not like New York. I feel like this is again. New York seem to play better and better, and in their games they lose.
Yeah, I think that in the games that they're winning, it's normally been because of their defense. They've been able to grind out high defensive wins, low defensive wins. But in these games that they're losing, they kind of have to counterattack more, and where their defense isn't working, they put more effort into their offense, and
45.
unfortunately, they just can't match a Vancouver team.
45% shooting is really impressive.
Just insane.
Very easily could have been a 100-point performance, but slacked off in that last quarter. That's the 12th done. The 13th. Bunch of games.
Oh, that was your 69th game. Nice.
Nice.
What day are we going to again? Is it the 15th or the 16th?
We go on to the 17th.
The 17th. Wow. All right,
That's
let's
why
get
I'm
this
like,
one done quickly
yeah, that's
then.
why I'm speeding up. Haymakers in action, Passion, so are the Sting, Matadors, Unicorns, Blackjacks and Volts. That's your two 40-plus win teams going at it. Philly with a bit of an upset. Madrid 123 to 103, very high scoring. Frankfurt get the W over Singapore. Austin, nice big win over South Beach. Indiana definitely need to make sure they won that. Puerto Rico with an
Ooh, big
upset
upset.
and a milestone.
150 block shots. Lovely.
Yes.
Ooh, was that New Jersey over Vegas?
I'm not sure, but I did see Carolina get the. Oh, good. 14th is low, 15th is low, 16. Relatively low, light weeks or days.
Yeah, thankfully not too much. But San Diego, Al was saying that he wanted a San Diego game, and lo and behold, he got
Not what he
technically a San
wanted.
Diego game.
You wanted them to come back. This is what happens when they take 5 days off. You get a bit rusty. But Buffalo, perfect from the free throw line. 27 points. Del Dion, 15 points, 16 boards, double. Boucher, 20 points, double for Dinko off the bench with 13 boards, 10 points off 4 of 8 shooting. Few less shots, but more efficiency. Those extra free throws. Always when it comes to Philly and Buffalo doing God's work. And was a 3-1 against us. Pretty impressive stuff for San Diego. Froby tried his best, a little bit of support from Luther, but no one else really stuck in with him. Second quarter, 6 to 25 after dominating 32 to 18. Really going to struggle. Go away. Madrid and Edinburgh in a big old shootout of a game. Madrid taking 100 shots compared to 87. Probably what ends up winning this game for them.
And then Turner and Time are the big stars here, but a great performance from Jones to go with it.
Yep, same as the Worm, also getting a double-double. That's very nice. Then we see Unicorns, 15 assists for Fat Belly. That's going to be up there in terms of his performance. Double-double with 15 points, 16 points Bud, 10 points, 2 double-digit points off the bench. Nagato with 25. 41% shooting, 103 points as a team. 25 turnovers. If they didn't have as many turnovers, that shot difference wasn't 13, they probably could have been in this game.
Yeah. But it's, when you're playing against a team like Madrid, you've really got to be perfect on all fronts.
25 to 16 turnovers, 30 to 20 fouls. Someone like Havoc only playing 16 minutes. Really gonna shoot you in the butt. Frankfurt coming out on top. Very close game. 1 point difference in the first quarter, 1 point difference at the half time. Then slowly.
Liverpool were really relying on Ryder and Banks this game.
Money being quiet, Thundermonk not having a great performance, sub about 33% shooting. Madrid shot 57% from the 3-point. Jesus. Frankfurt, Ryan Stryker with 17 points, Zach Mouse off the bench shooting 10, but pretty dismal efficiency. 11 points for Virgin Torp. So what wins it for them? The 20 free throws, the extra 3-point shots really converted over, despite Singapore having a better field goal percentage at 45 compared to 39.
Yeah, great win for Frankfurt. Now on to Austin.
Yes, Dunkin' Donuts with 29 points in their 24-point win over South Beach. That first quarter really set the tone, and everyone.
Dunkin' Donuts is your favorite player's favorite player, and
goes well. Gother with a double, Okoye with 25 points.
Just a really solid win from a really solid Western team.
Really good performances coming out there. 46% shooting. South Beach 41. Similar percentages in the 3-point line, but just less shots. So less efficiency and less volume equals pretty comfortable loss. Kashmir though, shooting just under 50%, 24 points. Lambertar, Webb, Q, and Davison all having some handy 10 double-digit points, with Q and Webb picking up doubles. Yeah, that sounds about right. Because I remember there was a game that got to about 240 points in total. Indiana picking up a nice win here. Sim got 35 points in their 13-point win. Von Sauer with a double-double, 18 points for Extra Garlic, 12 points also for Eric Iverson.
I don't think we need to say too much about them. We just know that for a team like Indiana, this has been a really good sim session for their playoff push.
Like I said, I got a good payment from Hummus, and I deliver on my rigging. 30 points though for Richards, 12 of 19. Really nice game for him, to give him some credit. But a few nice performances as well from Ray and Obama and Great Carly. Having some okay shooting, but not enough coming from the rest of the team. And 50% from Indiana, great day, plus the 37% 3-point shooting.
Gotta be honest, of all the wrestlers to make a player after, why the Great Khali, famously immobile?
I'm tall, I shoot, I don't move. Hey, I want to go against the Great Khali, because I just stand on the 3-point line, he'll take like the entire 20-second shot clock to get to me. And I'll still miss the open shot. Puerto Rico, we win our game, sneaking by 4 points, which is the fourth quarter, so it was tied going into the last quarter. I earned myself player of the game, 5 of 8 3-point shooting, let's go!
A very nice win.
It's that 3-point percentage, 37 compared to 8, that wins us the game. 4 starters with double digits. I get the score high. Bogut with 4 blocks, and that brings him to, well, it's 150, I believe, right? It came up with? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was it. 150 games with a block shot.
But also 50% shooting off the bench for the rookie. Superior. Decent performance. Still matching at 4 starters with double digits, 11 with Reeves. Buckets got close to Takahashi, 21 points. Some nice shooting, and they shot slightly better efficiency, but those 3-pointers, Puerto Rico were finally able to have an actual game of landing them, and it got them the dub. This is what they've needed to do all season, is, land their shots.
Wow, you actually made 5 threes.
I know.
This has got to be like the best day ever for you, right?
And it's not just like I made 5 of 50, it was 5 of 8 actually efficient shooting.
Just from this one game, you're going to keep on a stretch 5.
Oh, I really want to have, I'm a big person who likes diversity and just having fun like that. But I feel like as a GM, if I really know, in 3 seasons, I'm costing my team 5-10%, 5-10 wins easily.
Yeah.
I really can't just... You just can't.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, because I think the other stretch 5 is either very low earning or kind of half IA.
Yeah, so...
And he's shooting at a better percentage than me.
God.
Yes, that is my life right now. Blast. New Jersey,
You've
though...
made me... No, never mind. New Jersey pick up the win against Vegas.
Pretty nice, close game, but held on despite a late surge from the Vaults. Double digits coming in for Modes, Funk, Buckets, and McBasketball, with Bugsy Modes getting the play of the game, 1 board short of a double-double. Vaults, Riggs, Palm going nicely, nice shooting. 10 of 24, made all 3 throws with 30 points, but lack of support. Brandowitz with 11, still 6 of 16 for his 13. Not getting enough from the rest of the team, less shots, less efficiency, 0 of 13 3-pointers. Have you just tried being better? I have. Guess what? The sim hates me. Gringo, I would be careful what you say to the guy that could hold your team's fate in his hands.
Oh god, he's tripping. He's tripping on the power.
No, I'm tripping on my legs because apparently they don't work. I just went to this game. Carolina got the nice win. Mexico big against Mexico City. Nice booster for their fans to have something to believe in. Bashir with 33 points. 28 points for Halbjorgen. 17 points for Felix with a double-double. Renouf with 15 assists. Good performance for Soderberg with 28 points, like Norm, doing what they do best. Trying to make something in their position in a poor team. Cry Baby, 14 assists. Petrov, an okay points game, but abysmal shooting, about 22%. Oh, you're calling me a god now, Gringo. Ah, how kind of you.
Don't do it. Don't do this to him. Don't do it.
I literally, the power is in my hands. The power is in the gods. Does that mean darkness equal God? Yes. 12 points for Kerr off the
Oh,
bench.
we've gone into sacrilegious.
It's not sacrilegious. It's just fact.
It's pretty sacrilegious.
No.
Anyway,
God.
one game today, thank God.
Detroit Volt, who you picking?
Wait, let me check. I think it's gonna be the Volts here.
Yeah, if you're not picking
I
the
want
Volt,
the
you're not paying
Gens.
attention, and they get the win. Jerry Riggs, 36 points, probably the player of the game. Yeah, he is. 5 boards as well. Double-double for Sullivan, 11 points, 12 assists, 11 points for Serge as well, 21 points for Bright off the bench, nice performance there. But also 10 points for Brandowitz. Really nice team effort and team play there, shooting 46% as well, 27% from the 3-point line, and 5 from the charity strike. Power in his hands. Look at passion record. Maybe not. So, I see you've chose Death 82. Prepare to not see your player. Detroit, 11 points for Claudio Jones. Mabayo also putting up 10 points. Sani, decent best high for 17, but not enough efficiency. Almost 10% lower shooting than Vegas. Plus the worst 3-point percentage. That is the 14th. We get to our second live game. It
Lovely.
is Singapore going against New Jersey. Two 40
this should
plus
be a
win
really
teams.
good one.
You also have Seattle going against the Wolves. Haymakers Volt's going to be a good game. Stinger also in action, and so are Austin. But
Let's see how it goes.
Austin, not a convincing win, but get what they need to done.
South Beach over
upset
Madrid.
Lake Superior,
close,
close but get
squeaks
it
by.
done. You lose, sucked in. Indiana's streak ends with a tough loss against Vegas.
Oh, yeah, I do love the Swamp Kings jersey for New Jersey.
AI Control, alternate jerseys.
Swamp Kings.
No, Moby, too late. It's like 2 more days and the stream's at like 2 hours, so let us, I'm just going to try and rush through the last couple of days. So I think there's another about 13, 14 box scores, then we can do everything.
Yeah. Love me my squeaks.
No.
Oh. Alright, I'm gonna take this time to do my update.
Okay, I'll play some music. Probably gonna make this a little bit faster since we are quite slow. Seen already. Singapore. Ugh. People demand squeaks. Well, tell someone that cares. That's
I
what
care.
I've got.
I care.
Become a streamer.
No, this has already been too long.
Even my team sucks, you can burn it all down, I'm happy with it.
So this has gone about like what I expected. I think New Jersey can rally, but I think Singapore will be in control for at least the first half. even with New Jersey's really nice Alps.
New Jersey have brought it back here. They're now only a gap of 5.
I'm gonna be gone just for this game, just to get some water. I'll be back in a
You're
bit.
fine, that's okay. New Jersey getting it down to 1 point. Big comeback. I wonder what champion they're gonna select. Uber, you can come join me in VC. I can then kick you out with my permissions. Try me. Of course, what would we do? Play ranked? God, no. What's this actually called? Alina Bistain, yep. Is the music too loud? I think it's a bit louder than what I had it last time. I don't think I want to know what that emote is, Gringo. I'm surprised Nightbot hasn't... Is Nightbot gone? I haven't seen anyone kicked stupidly so far. Quick plays coming there, seeing a pull a bit of an advantage, but problem gets even out there. Should be only a 3-point difference going into half time. There's your stats. Swansea has 10 points, Ryder was 12, 11 for Bugsy Modes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I guess Nightbot is gone. Hello, Sloth! And you are welcome for your second triple-double. I guess I might... Squeak, 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 squeak. Just trying to get some better music in here for you guys.
Oh god, when did Uber get here? When did Uber leave?
He left as soon as you showed up. He going to do some squeaking.
Oh, I missed the squeaks.
You missed the squeaks, my friend.
Oh, no, Uber, get back here. Do more squeaks, please. Yeah, give Uber MDM right now.
Most dysfunctional member.
Yeah, chat, can I get a whole bunch of squeaks going? Just to spell darkness. Hey, look at that. We got our almighty squeaks back. Ooh. Really a 10-point game with like 1 quarter to go. Do you think you guys can pull it back?
I can't hear you guys.
Yeah, me neither. This is so loud. I'm just gonna stay quiet because I don't want to talk over the screens. I can hear them in my
Say
brain.
bless.
What did you say?
Hey, there's something popped up. Is there any way to make it quieter?
No.
Looks like Singapore running away from the happy now in post chat. Plus, I think they just didn't want to hear our voices. That's why they wanted the squeaks.
Maybe, but I don't think New Jersey are gonna take this game back, so...
Like, I can turn down the sound for, like, on stream, but not in my head. And that's the game, and that's the last you will ever hear of squeaks from me. Oh, get out, it's just so much easier to do it in order so I don't miss a game. What is the name of the noblest of metals? That is Darkness Rising. Austin taking the dub. Carl Johnson 25 points, 13 points for Okoye and Kosek, 26 for Donuts and 20 from Graves. Really great bench performances coming in, where Carolina only had 11 from Felix. Starters played pretty decently, but Sheer 22, 20 points, double digits for Hub, Bjorgen, Brooks and Rose, whilst Wanoff got 14 assists. But the 3-pointers, 41%, 12 of 29 for Austin, getting it nicely done in nicely big dub. Singapore, the game we just finished watching, they get the job done despite some pretty shoddy performances. 4 of 11 for Money, 4 of 11 for Buckets, 3 of 9 for Miller. But Money, Thunderbunk and Miller also still get doubles. Whilst Tugboat Rider gets 26 of 12 of 23 shooting. Banks gets a double-double, 14 points, 11 boards off the bench. New Jersey on the other side, another disappointing performance. 40% shooting as a team, but less volume. Double-double for Bugsy Mose, 13 points for McBass, 11 points for Buckets. And nothing else really showing up. 10 for Bodman, 11 for Missing Buckets. You still with me, Blast?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay,
just thinking about the squeaks. Sorry.
But
great win for South Beach. Kashmir in MVP form.
That last quarter, 13-point turnaround gave them the 5-point win. This is the largest lead. 35 points for Kashmir, 18 for Q, 21 for Dave Davison. Lots of some coming at performance there. Even the 11 points for Webb, 5 and 15 minutes, 5 for 11 points. Madrid, Turner, 19 points. As the Worms struggling didn't get much action. 13 points for Asui and 15 for Time. Game high for Tex Legacy, 20. Jones, 13 off the bench. They just didn't have that standout performance.
Team Madrid have been doing incredibly well, but I'm really excited to see in the playoffs what's going to happen when people have specific game plans for them.
Also, Maury really enjoyed your comment about you're just thinking about the squeaks.
I'm always just thinking about the squeaks.
They haunt his. They might make your dreams, but they haunt my nightmares. Lake Superior getting it done, but only 3 points. Requiring a giant comeback in that last quarter of Philly, they still were able to just come out on top. Was that 21 points? Not 21. 11 points.
Must have been like a big fourth quarter comeback.
The power of the squeaks, man. 34 points for Tippins gives him player of the game. 17 points Buckets, 10 points other Buckets. Nothing much off the bench, but that is able to get it done through the hands of Tippins. Philly didn't have a one standout guy. Buffalo with 18, Boucher 22, Dion with 12, and Dingo off the bench with 11. He gets a double-double, so does Dion, but they didn't get that 30 point plus performance like Lake Superior through Tippins did. Lake Superior didn't make a single 3-pointer. But they did all the 3 throws. They didn't need it, exactly. Why make 3-pointers when you can just make 2-pointers and hope? Here you go, Blast. You can take us through this game.
Okay, let's go. Oh, and in a round of just not fun stuff, the Seattle Hawkers take their first loss of this sim to the Mud City Wolves. Baby Yoda player of the game. God, more good team basketball from Mud City. And Seattle, when the Freeze aren't there, they aren't there. But they'll be there in the playoffs. Still, nice performance from Schroeder. You'll love to see that.
Yes, very nicely done. 47.5% shooting from Mud City as a team. Seattle slightly off and only 30% 3-point percentage is going to hamper them. Go Wolves indeed. Vegas 3-point winners over Indiana, despite Indiana making up 5 points in that last quarter. Third quarter really making all the difference to get this double across the line. Riggs with 35 points, 21 points for Surge in a nice cameo for the team. Bright with 12 off the bench too. Nothing much else kicking though. Haymakers 35 for Simgod, matching Riggs in more efficient shooting, might I add. 25 for Salinar with 12 boards, still a double-double. Bit of a better cameo performance. 19 from Garlic, again a better third man performance, but then absolutely nothing. The rest of the team accounted for 19 points, besides those 4 players. The rest of the players went, yeah. But to be fair, they didn't take many shots. 2 of 5, 2 of 3, 2 of 3, 2 of 9, 0-1, 0-3, 0-0-0-0. But yikes. Only those 3 players really doing any damage. While she saw on Vegas 6, 6, 6, and 12, 9, 4, 2. That extra little work. Gives us March 16th. Panama's playing, Passion Indiana. I think if Passion lose, we're pretty much looking very, very out of it. Need Blackjacks to win as well. Sting and Golden Unicorns are playing. Let's go.
New Jersey win.
Big win. Panama only
Blowout
53
win.
points.
New York gets a win.
Edinburgh
Nice win for Edinburgh.
Good win for Austin. Edinburgh win. And that's the second last day. 53 points only for Panama. 13, 4, 17. 4 points! They got 4 points in a quarter.
Oh no, that's not great.
Even generally though, 22 points combined in a quarter. And New Jersey shot almost 46%, and they still only got 19 points. Jesus. Missing buckets with 35 points, over half of the third of New Jersey's score and about 60% of what Panama got. Bugsy Mogs with 10, Zimblake with 10. Those 3 players got 60 points. Basketball, a double-double off the bench. Joins Mogs with a double-double. Yeah, 45 compared to 25%. Pretty much going to cost any team.
Yeah, good performance from New Jersey though.
Yes, definitely what you want to see, getting closer and closer to the playoffs. Basketball with a double-double. And 15 points for Stanton, but yikes. 1 of 11 for basketball chess. New York, though, important W, can't lose to a team like Mexico City, who will not be making playoffs. Double-double for Workman, 16 points, 12 boards. 10 points for Johnson, also double digits for Venture and Salazaro. Plus 21 from Baker off the bench, one of their finest performances of the season that I have seen, with 66% shooting. 68 points coming in for Thompson, 4 of 9 with 5 of 6 3 throws. Almost 52% of the team, 40% 3-pointers, whilst hitting 90%. Compare that to 39, 29, 66. Soderberg with a double-double. What else is new? How many double-doubles has Soderberg got? Probably 40? 34.
34 is pretty good in the year.
You saw that they had the points and 9.8 rebounds. Petrov with 18, Ruby with 13. Even Union Curve having some actual decent games here.
Yeah.
Just not enough.
105 points is pretty good for New York.
I don't think
good for any team, but
this was actually a pretty good game for Mexico City, by their standards at least. But New York, plus any game over 50% shooting is quite impressive. Making it up as well for their lack of shots compared to Mexico City. Edinburgh, Nagatora get in the play of the game, 8 of 22, got 5 of 18 3-point shooting. Matt Belly, double-double, 12 assists, 16 points, 20 points for Bud, 13 points for Stone, 17 points for Bernstein on 46% shooting. An extra 13 shots attempted, getting to exactly 100. better 3-point shooting, very limited free throw usage, but didn't really matter in the end.
Yeah, just a really good performance, or good team performance from Edinburgh.
Kashmir shooting sub 50%, but gets 32 points with a minus 16 though. And then only 3 other players getting double digits, in which are Q, Davidson, and Webb. Webb picks himself up a neat little double-double, 14 points with 10 boards. I hope, chat, you can still understand what I'm saying as I go supersonic speed. Cunningham, 16 assists, 7 blocks. That's a very unusual play of the game stat line, I must say. 2 points, 3 assists, 4 steals, 7 blocks, and 16 boards. I don't know if AW is still around, but I don't know if that's... I think most blocks... I think they've seen double-digit blocks.
Double-digit blocks.
10 points for Gotha and Johnson, 16 for Okoye, 17 for Donuts off the bench, with Graves also off the bench getting 11 double digits. Yeah. It's a pretty impressive game, but I think you probably matched him. Frankfurt shooting sub 30, not what you want to see, especially as a playoff team going towards the end of season. Virgin Tour 12 of 26, 27 points, and no one else getting above double digits. Gordon 2 of 14, Kirk 3 of 10. Very abysmal from the rest of the team.
Yeah, Frankfurt, we're going back to Germany, very sad.
Indiana beat my team, so they are now enemy number 1. Extra Garlic 25 points. Simgod double-double, only 15 points, quiet compared to his last games. Selenar gets a double-double. Iverson and Magnuson both get double digits as well. Puerto Rico, Kane struggling 1 of 8 with only 4 points. The rest of the starters getting double digits. Off the bench, Bogut, Mike Boss gets 15 points. Shooting 50% compared to 35%. That kind of is all you need to know. 11 block last symbol. There you go. Good for you. That sounds condescending as hell.
Yep.
That's the final game of the penultimate day. Vancouver gets a nice win. Ufjord with 18 points. Double-double for Mahogany with 12 points, 11 boards. 13 points also coming in for Thomas. 10 points for Tanner, while CKU fell 1 point short of a double-double. 37% shooting as a team. Philly only shooting 25%. That's... yikes. Only team shooting sub 30, I think at this point is a bad game. And I think you're probably wanting about... I think the average is probably about 38-39% in the league as a team. Throughout the season, I think 38-39 is probably average. I could probably check that. Remind me.
Yeah, we'll check it at the end
Buffalo,
of the
Buffalo,
series,
24
right?
points. Exactly. No one else getting double digits. Moves us to the final set of games. Generals, Reapers. Generals should have had it easy. Haymakers, Imperials, big game. Matadors, Panama. We'll expect Matadors to take it. Raiders, Legends, you'd be going Raiders all the way. And then we get the Orcas and San Diego, and we know how much the Orcas love to choke a good game on stream.
How dare you? I do believe that my presence here has done the Orcas a world of good. Ooh, Carolina 1-point win.
Oh, we both
Indiana.
simultaneously saw that and just... Imagine if we got to watch that game. Hey, you got the dub.
And like, what a nice way to end this sim.
How has
With
Madrid
a
been
Seattle
doing?
win.
Yeah, they've been doing nicely. Not as dominant as normal, but they've still kept up their winning ways. 104 to 105. Carolina come back in that last quarter. Extra 5 points to win by 1. 11-13 lead.
This really hasn't been Detroit's day. Bashir, 43 points.
Yikes. 23 from Habjorgen, and then 10 from Pandor. The rest of the team not doing too much. 46% shooting. Generals are at 48% shooting. 3-point percentage is relatively close. The free throws, the extra ones might have got them across the line, but damn. What a game. I think Detroit struggled and failed to have that one guy. Look at their points. On first glance, if I looked at those points, I would not believe that added up to 104. 6, 9, 16, 22, 12, 6, 6, 6, 9, 5, 7.
Ooh.
Their three highest scores, 22 plus 12 is 34, plus 16 is 50. Their three highest is only 7 more than what Bashir got by himself.
If you're Detroit and you don't make the playoffs, this game is going to haunt
you
you.
look at this game and you are going to remember it and have nightmares. Indiana, pick up, keeping this momentum. They are a team to watch out for, honestly. They're starting to... They might be able to make a surge up past the 8th seed into the 6th, 7th battle. Magnuson off the bench with 28 points. Massive performance coming out from him. 21 for Brick Square as well. Great game for the benchies here. Simgod, 12 points. Von Salina, 10 boards, 20 points, 11 points for Extra Garlic. Imperials, Ruckman, 20 points, 16 for Price, and 14 from Salazero. No one else.
Great games off the bench.
Yes, almost 30 extra shots made by Indiana.
All right, Panama, Madrid now.
As I take a drink.
Yeah, good game for Madrid. What else is new?
5 players getting double digits, 10, 13, 16, 10, 16, with Asui getting play of the game.
Tron Legacy having a good
set. Legacy having a nice game, 6 of 8 shooting as well. Both teams shooting low percentage, but Madrid taking those almost extra 15 shots, yep. And the better 3-point percentage as well, 46 compared to 18. On the side of Panama, 16 for Store Basketball. Pretty great getting 13 and 10 for some big small man, the rookie. Need to get those turnovers down. Lake Superior, 11-point winners of Ontario. Probably not as big of a win as they would have wanted, but a dub's a dub. Snake Tippins, double, 24 points, 11 assists, 25 points for buckets. No one else reaching the double digits. But enough is enough there. Ontario, all starters getting double digits. Dear Ferrari in a double effort. 14 points, 11 boards. Elliot Richards with the team high of 17. Ray and Obama both getting double digits. Though slightly inefficient there for Ray. Carly going 3 of 13 though really hampered them, I think.
Yeah. God. You know, Ontario, obviously this isn't going to be their season, but I think they still put up a fairly reputable performance against a good Lake Superior team. But this is the team that I like the most. The San Diego Admirals.
Beating those sweaty tryhards in Seattle, getting the dub. 52% 3-point shooting.
All could go splash.
7-11 from Sellich. 2 from 3 Fitzgerald, 2-4 Shaw, 2-4 Kane. But full goal percentage, Ramsey went 1 of 10. So,
I know.
Sucked in.
I know, but at least I've got the rest of my team to keep me going.
San Diego, though, 21 points.
Love seeing
Bryant and 13. God, these are just sick at 3-pointers, man. Just, ugh. It is.
We know how to play the stretch 5, you know.
Honestly, I wonder how I would go on your team.
Okay. I'm not gonna answer that question. I don't want to get punished for tampering.
No, but I mean, like, Seattle as far as I see, Seattle has the best 3-point shooting team.
Yes.
I am a stretch 5 who does not go that well, but is meant to also shoot 3-pointers. I wonder what my shooting would look like on your team. Would it actually increase? Would I just make you guys worse because I'm another 3-point shooter and you don't need that? Like, sort of this, like the systems. How would I work in the Seattle system, not tamper me?
Well, I'm just gonna say non-committally, Orcas are the best. So yeah, you just be the best.
Nice.
Anyway, looking at these standings,
Madrid.
Wow, Puerto Rico's only actually like 2 games out, really.
Madrid taking very firm first, Singapore second, New Jersey third. Edinburgh and Frankfurt will be fighting for that 4th and 5th seed.
South Beach and Panama
Exactly,
fighting for
tied.
that 6th seed. And then Puerto Rico 1 game away from tying with New York. So, yeah, I think New York's led enough for you today.
We think about it. So, if we win our next game and when they lose, we are tied.
Yeah.
All it actually takes. We have the same amount of games played, and we are 1 behind. Then you have Carolina and Philly. So to put in perspective, you're set to succeed. At the moment, picks would go Mexico City, Ontario, and Philly are close for 2nd and 3rd pick. Carolina will get 4th pick. Puerto Rico 5th. Probably whoever gets 9th in this conference probably gets 5th pick, with Detroit getting pick 6.
Good on Indiana to get up to 7th. Still, we've got probably 16 more games. That's 15, 16 is what I'm saying for most teams.
I'm saying this is 69. This is 70. 68, 67, this is 72.
72. Oh, Detroit's not in a good spot.
You're looking at about mid 60s, 65 to 70 being it. Vancouver, Austin for fighting for the first 2 seeds. Seattle, you got a bit of a gap over Vegas. But, 3 extra wins, one less
right
loss.
Now I'm thinking more I'd like to keep 3rd than, I'd like to get 2nd.
There's a big drop off to Superior, Mud City, Indiana. Very close between all of them. Slight step back is San Diego, who now have about a very convincing lead over Detroit. They have 3 extra wins, and they have 6 less losses. So they played 69. They have 3 less. They've played 3 less games and have 3 more wins as it stands.
Yeah. So I think if they're able to win out in those 3 games at least, they just got to keep a 3-game margin over Detroit.
With the percentage they are, you would expect them almost 50% to win. 2 out of 3, 2 out of 4, 3 out of 5. So you would probably expect San Diego to keep that. They would need to slide. Detroit have lost 7, tying the losing streak of Ontario. Biggest winning streak is Vancouver on 5.
And followed quickly by, man, if we hadn't lost to Mud City, we would have been like a 6-game win streak. That's painful.
I just want to show World Division. Look at all of these teams. Jesus.
Really running the gambit in the World Division.
4 teams with plus 500. Same here in the Central Division. Pacific also quite strong, but then dropped off. I want to do the team stuff first.
Yeah.
What did I want to look at?
Oh god.
Field goal percentage.
Field goal percentage.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12. So about 38% is roughly middle for the entire league.
Can you quickly look at 3 points made? I know we're leading by a lot. I just want to check.
That's just sort of showing you. So anything, as an average, the lowest team is 36. So if you're shooting below 36% in a game, that is a bad performance. 3 pointers made.
Yeah, but I think the big thing with Edinburgh is that they take a lot of shots, but their volume is lowering down their thing. But look at that. You'll love to see that 3-point made. 4th. No thanks to you, but 4th.
4th in attempts. Percentage ain't that good though. What is point? South Beach at 97. That's what I love as well, because you can go to defense and see points allowed per game. What that? Who allows the most 3-pointers? Indiana.
Well,
this is stuff you can only see in the sim.
To me.
So if there is anyone like off sim that wants to see some of this stuff, like I know Modern Duke, I can't think of what the system is called, but he mentioned it's like stats that they do.
It's AWS.
AWS?
No, it's not. I'm just giving free
He does
promotion to them.
some sort of stat work. He did it for the end of season 1. Like, I can provide these stats to anyone that might want them. Just screenshot them and send it. Anyway, players. Points per game, rigs. Pulling it off, point above Yoda. We have 9 players who are above double digits. No, double digits, above 20. And how many players above 10? 78. No, 79. Assists, Crybaby, Miller, Fat Belly with no. Then we drop down a bit to Funk, 44 Delphine. Crybaby and Miller definitely your picks, but Fat Belly pretty consistent. Boards, Dion, Swanty, Baz now playing for Frankfurt. Not sure how he's gone in the new team.
Oh, I like seeing Jackson Kennedy doing well.
Blocks per game, this is all Baz Stacy. So Bogut's 150, so hit 3. So he's probably the only one else that's gotten to that point. Money probably would get there very shortly. This is Baz's category. Steals, it's Baz again. Which is just crazy for a center. The next center is 15th. Goals attempted of Riggs, Bashir, Yoda, Made, Riggs, barely. Google percentage though. Centers, power forward, shooting guard, tugboat, rider. That is what, 6 players above 500%. 3-point percentage goes to Selic. Only player above 40%.
Oh wow, that's a nice field goal percentage for me. Didn't realise I was doing well on that.
Yeah. Like I said, there's only 2 centers that have enough that register.
Ooh.
Yeah, that is. So where do we actually sit though? Yeah, I'm 37th to put that in perspective.
And of course, Salic is always going to be the best 3-point shooter.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be changing that. Buffalo is always going to be the best 3-point shooter as well.
Yeah, I don't think free throws are important.
Especially when you throw the ball away so much. Efficiency, different to per sim. This is one that really favors the bigs. Like, where's the first guard? Or forward feud. Point guard, 29th. This is really crazy. Don't bother with this stat, honestly. Double doubles, Mogs, basketball, 43, 42 for money. You're getting close now to 70 games. That's pretty impressive percentage of games. Over 50% of games you are getting that double double. I think about 10 players probably are hitting that feat.
Alright, should we call the stream there?
Almost. Triple doubles. We got a triple double for Miller. We've so far only point guards, and Snake Tippin's got a second.
Second today.
Fat Belly.
Fat Belly should have 3. His 10 turnover game definitely counts.
We don't care about that. We don't care about that. 3 points man game, 13 for missing buckets. Points, Baby Yoda's 47. Hold strong. Steals, Johnson and Asui with 10. Blocks is Baz. Only other with double digits is Ruby. And that's really it. Okay, then now we can call it, but I'm going to do one last thing as we say goodbye. I want to see how NTG the Worst as a bot did. And it's going to be a bitch like this. Let's see, what is for his stats? 0.6 points per game, 0.1 assists per game, 0.9 boards, and 0.4 blocks. The high score of 2 points, 1 assist, 3 boards, and a block. That is a quality player.
Honestly, New York are lucky to have him.
10 minutes 6 2 7 4 5 0. He hasn't turned over the ball once. That's pretty impressive. Minus 12. Okay.
Love to see it, really.
Discipline way too high, and endurance. Probably, but yeah, like like, that's the best we can do, because I don't know how to do all that stuff, so it ultimately is a bot, so they're not going to have game-altering performances, hopefully, but it is what it is. Thank you, Blast, for tuning in. Became a pretty long stream, so sorry for the end, really hurrying things along.
No, it's alright. This was fun. I hope to never do it again.
It is fine by me if you ever decide to. I usually hang out in GM chat, but if there's anyone who is in stream that does want to maybe one day, you know, hey, I'll jump in for even like an hour, half an hour. Saves my voice, gives me a slight break. Let me know. You know, I can move to a public channel for say 30 minutes. It's fine by me. You'll get paid for it as well.
Oh shoot, I'm getting paid for this?
Yes,
Hell
you will
yeah.
get paid.
How much let the good people know how much you get paid?
I don't know off the top of my head for say broadcasters, but what rings to my head is 3 or 4 mil.
Oh, lovely.
I would say though, if you join for half an hour, probably get say half pay, take 2 mil.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think as a streamer it's 6. And I think broadcaster is 4. You know, you can come with me, shoot the shit, enjoy some basketball, just like Blasted, and I thank him very much. Everyone watching, thank you once again. I will have the sim file out within about 5 minutes.
Alright, have a great day everyone. Take care now. Bye.